These are soft shackles. They're mainly used, the best way to describe what they're used for is in place of a carabiner. Uh, these are made out of 1/8 inch am steel, which has a breaking strength of about 2,500 pounds. You could get them in solid colors or make them out of two separate colors. The way it works is it's got a button knot or crown knot, depending on how it's made, on one end, and this is adjustable, and you just loosen it up, slip the knot over it, put it in place like you would a D-ring or a carabiner, and then once you get it on there, just retighten it back down, and then it holds in place and it won't come undone. Okay, so I'm really having to improvise today. It's raining outside and I don't want to get out in the rain and do this. So this video is about the soft shackles. One way you could do a tree strap is you got a sewn loop on one end, and you could take it and run all the webbing through, and then tighten it up, and you got your tree strap. The downside to doing this is if you initially set up your hammock and find out that you gotta raise up or lower the hammock a little bit, and there's a tree branch in the way. You just need to raise it up to here, but there's a tree branch here. So now you got to pull this all back out again, and then bring it around the tree branch, and then put it back on and pull it back through the loop and everything. It's just kind of a hassle, especially if you only need to move it up 6 inches and to have to do all that. So there's an easier way to do it. I'll show you here. One way you can do it is by using a carabiner, and you just take the carabiner and clip it in place right here, and then if you need to undo it, you just unclip the carabiner, move it to where you want to, and then lock it back in place. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it's a little bit more, not necessarily more convenient. It saves some weight, and some people, if you end up using a lower rated carabiner, it could break on you. A lot of different issues. So using a soft shackle, just like a carabiner, you could leave this on. You could put this in place, lock it in, and just leave it on the tree strap all the time. So now whenever you get to your tree, you bring it around, you undo it, put it back in through the loop, tighten it down, and now you've got it locked in place. If you do need to move it up or down and there's a branch or something in the way, it's as simple as undoing this, bringing it up around the tree branch, and putting it back in place, and locking it back down, and then you're done. So that's one thing the soft shackles are used for. Okay, another thing a soft shackle can be used for is if you used a whoopee sling for your suspension and you need it to attach it to your hammock, then you could just take it, the whoopee sling, the gray soft shackle is through the blue whoopee sling, and then you just take it through your continuous loop and put it on there and tighten it down. It works the same way as if you were doing carabiner through there, but saves the weight of carrying the carabiner. One very important thing I forgot to mention when I was filming that video of wrapping that around my tree, my stovepipe, is if you don't use a carabiner or a soft shackle and you run all this webbing through here and you get your hammock set up and you realize, okay, I need to raise or lower it up some and there's a tree branch in the way. Now, before you can run all this webbing back through here, you have to unhook your hammock because it's attached to the webbing down here. So you have to unhook your hammock, and then you can either lay it on the ground, which is not a good choice, or put it back inside the stuff sack, raise this up, or lower it, reset up your hammock, and then see if it's right again, and possibly have to move it again. If you're using a soft shackle or a carabiner on here, you can leave your hammock attached to the strap, just unhook the connection here and move it, and then reconnect it, and your hammock stays off the ground, stays hooked up, and it's a lot easier, quicker.